Hey, everybody. Welcome to this very special live feed that we're having today. We have Matthew Marshall with us. Welcome, Matthew.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, honestly. And congratulations on the upcoming premiere.
Yeah, it's been a little time in the works, but it's really good, and especially to be able to releasing it during National Bully Month, and then also we have National Bully Day, which is Wednesday, October 13th, which will be the actual day that it premieres.
I was going to say that date does sound familiar.
Yep,
That's cool. I actually didn't know there was a date.
there is. There's actually multiple dates. This is the National Anti-Bullying Day. There is another day, I think, in the new year that actually Canada is a little more representative of it, but I didn't want to wait till the new year to release it. And the fall seems good because that's a big part of the theme in the film of when it takes place. School's back, so it's all the things that to me made the right time to premiere the film.
Excellent. Now let's back up just a little bit because
Sure.
you're with iFilm, and I've noticed
I
you do follow themes with this company. Where did iFilm start?
So iFilm Group was the idea of basically on social media interaction between seniors and youth basically is where it started, but it's all ages. And it really is about mentoring. So the I was the whole idea of getting into the multimedia online that and also the I in that everyone's part of the film. So and then we are a group. So we're mentoring one another. It's filmmakers from around southwestern Ontario. Specifically, Don Hickey and myself are the co-founders, and we do a lot of mentoring and teaching and that kind of stuff. And it's all basically giving back. And I've had a lot of good mentors in my life that have got me to where I am now. So it's trying to give back to the new generation that's interested in filmmaking and try to help out, as well as we have seniors that are interested in filmmaking as well.
Excellent. Linda even says, brilliant idea and much needed. And that's it. When you get into this kind of business, well, you say business, but it's a very artistic thing too.
Yeah.
It is networking. It's who you know, and it's people that are like-minded, and it's a group atmosphere.
Yeah. And that's the thing, especially in southwestern Ontario. I mean, we're about 2 hours away from Toronto, but there's a lot of big stuff that goes on. London's known for its theater, but there's a lot of independent film going on in London and St. Thomas and Chatham and that's really the area that we cover. And there's a lot of students that are taking acting, the film course within Fanshawe. There's just so much here, and that's kind of what Don and I were after. Was that I've been making film since I was 16, so I mean, you're over 30 years now that I've been doing film of some kind, and that really was part of it. Is the people that had helped me along, and I feel now it's time that I start pulling some other people up. We've worked with a lot of different universities and colleges, high schools. So there's been a lot of opportunity, and there's a lot of great filmmakers and people that act in the area.
Excellent. So now with this group, I noticed, like I said, your films seem to take on themes or tones. Was that on purpose?
Well, I started out at a fairly early age. Malicious is actually my 12th film. And I'm a bit of a social justice kind of person. I grew up with knowing some prominent lawyers and kind of being a legal rat to a point. And when I was younger, my mom worked for a lawyer and just different things. And I see a lot of things that speak to me and things that I want to talk about. I've covered all kinds of social issues. And bullying just kind of was the next step in it. And I know what goes on. I mean, you talk to a lot of students. We've got over 80 cast members and 30 crew members in this film. And the number of people that said somehow, some way they'd seen or been witness to or were the subject of bullying, it blew me away. And I didn't know that even when I started the film. So it's just another one of those things where I've made a film that obviously has its finger on the pulse. I know when I did Daughter of the King about human trafficking, I felt it was an issue, and then I got into it, and I didn't realize how on the ball I really was. And then same things happened with this film as well.
Do you find it challenging having that kind of writing style where you're focusing on an actual thing, so fiction isn't allowed to take over too much?
No, I very much deal in reality. M&S Marshall Productions for all the years it's done is real life and real drama, and that's kind of been my focus. That's where I'm best. I'm not great at writing comedy. I had my day and time in horror, and it's just not my thing. There's no offense to the genre or anything, but it's drama seems to be where I write, and I see a lot of things going on around me. A lot of the films that I've written have been things that I've kind of witnessed and seen and then taken the story on for. And just that's the way I've written. And I've had several people that have interviewed me and that says, you're a real social justice advocate. And I guess I am, but it's just the theme I write. And I am very compelled by dramas. And so that's what I write best.
Excellent. Now, when it comes to the atmosphere that you're in, like you said, you have people coming in that want to be like-minded, want to join the group. How much of an influence do these people have in your productions?
So we're working on branching out a little bit with iFilm. A lot of the films have been films that Don and I have either written or made. We're getting a little bit more into other films. We haven't fully done it, but a lot of it is our creativeness. We brought people on, acting, crew, and that, and they have an input, but obviously in the hierarchy of it, if we're producing or directing, then we're still the kind of the top dogs, so to speak. But it really is, there's more and more branching out into other things. We've had some filmmakers that have talked about coming on board and making their films. And basically I have a couple different titles. My main title for iFilm is head of production, and I oversee what's being done for films. And then I also have the role of director producer on a film. It may be under my company M&S, and then under the umbrella of iFilm. We're about 3 years into iFilm, so it's just really starting to take off. It's been a concept that's been around for a bit, but it's definitely starting to take off. More so of mentorship and workshops and that kind of stuff more recently, especially with the pandemic and kind of shutting a lot of production down.
Yeah, that's true. We have this guy here saying, great podcast. It's Don Hickey.
Oh, yeah.
And he also said Yanis is from Greece. And
Yes.
then Yanis said Don is from Canada. So
Yep.
we are being kept up to date on the sidelines there.
Yeah, that's the one thing I have found through the pandemic is an international flair. We've made connections with people all around the world. Obviously, some of the films that I've done have been featured in film festivals all around the world. So there's a real international flair that's really starting to come out, especially with everything going online through podcasts and internet and Vimeo and all the rest of it.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about Malicious Attack. Where did this story start?
So I kind of got an idea for doing a theme on. Sorry, did you have something?
I actually have an idea. Before you answer this question, let's play the trailer so everybody's kind of up to date. All right?
Sure.
Here we go. Here is the trailer for Malicious Attack.
Hey, loser. You're such a nerd.
Pertaining to your daughter, Linda. She has been absent from school an alarming amount of days so far this term.
Hey, baby mama Sarah. Oh, hey, baby maker. Leave me alone. Where are you going, Raven? That's right. Keep walking. It's our hallway. Honey, you are such a loner and a loser. Do you want us to call you a wambulette? Oh, precious, are we hurting your feelings?
I mean, is there nothing you can do? Naomi's getting bullied.
I have a score to settle with you.
I'm fine. Everything's not fine. You don't sleep, you don't have your boyfriend, you don't even want to come to school. You're on edge.
Yeah, so I don't have the courage to come to school. But when I'm at school, I don't know what's gonna happen. But today it ends.
Trying to break free of ourselves. Should have listened to the warning. Longing for the past and for the freedom we left there. It's too late now, but I know now that I care.
That is excellent. So yes, now everybody's on the same page. Where did this kernel start, Matthew? Where did this story come from?
So, I mean, obviously, bullying has existed since the beginning of time in one form or another. It's become very in the media, so to speak, and definitely organizations, students, teachers speaking out against it. So, I had an idea: what if there was someone that was bullied? And I didn't really decide right off the bat whether it was male, female, whatever. And it was funny because it kind of come to me back a little bit to childhood, when I was growing up, and the whole idea of, wow, it comes from country music, actually. Kenny Rogers and Coward of the County. And
Oh yeah,
that line where when you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. What if there was someone that was pushed to their outer limits and they kind of non-traditional bully style? Normally who's being bullied, they don't fight back. But what if you're pushed to a point where you decide to fight back? And I'm famous for making films that have twists in them. So my bully victim, or at least one of the bully victims, ends up becoming a bully. And that's part of it, where she's willing to fight her bully. And that was in the trailer. But it kind of spun from there. And we had, with different stories, and that we end up with a bully that is actually bullying a lot of people, which is not uncommon, as you see. So we have the kind of the good girl, Naomi, the good student, and she's pushed to a limit. You've got an immigrant, you've got the school outcast, you've got a pregnant teen, you've got a grade 9 student, and each of them have a different response to how they're bullied. And that basically is the heart of it, is that there's all these different options or ways that people get bullied and how they respond to it. And then the one, Naomi, the main one, she decides she's pushed too far, and then she's going to fight back. And in the process, she becomes a bully as well. And then when the repercussions from the legal system come, when they get in a fight, she ends up hurting a few people. Then it kind of goes from there.
Excellent. Linda mentions, she goes, I've seen mean behavior towards not being attractive as well as being attractive, what appears to be geeky, and those who shine, but what we see is not always the case. And that's 100% true.
Well, it was kind of neat because my person that was a bully actually had braces, and several people have said, well, that's unusual for someone with braces to be your bully. But I am famous for turning things on their head. And honestly, if anything I do, which has, creates a little bit of controversy, I'm not big into getting into big controversy, but to get people to talk. And the more people talk, then the more we can hopefully talk about our issues, talk about our differences, and make a difference in the world.
Well, it doesn't seem too far out of the realm of possibility either, though, because usually when you're dealing with a bully, like the vast majority of the time, it's because they have an insecurity of some sort.
Yep.
And it's about that power and control.
And I kind of, as I developed and I mean, traditionally, the male as the bully, but there's a lot of bullying within schools between female cliques. And that's kind of where it spun. One, because I have far more girls or females that apply for roles. So it just kind of, in somewhat process of casting, and that turned out to be a more female dominated cast.
Well, and it, like you said, it's been more in the media lately because there's like new forms of bullying, like cyberbullying,
Yep.
And
so we touch on that a bit as well. So we try to get the different forms in there as well.
Excellent. How long was the shoot? Like, how long did you actually film?
So we actually filmed most of it a couple years ago, and we were 6 months or 8 months to shoot. And then we had this wonderful thing. I was in the process of trying to get editing, and then the world stopped 18 months to 2 years ago. Right. So
yeah,
it's been a little interesting getting it to the finish line, but it's done. And that's something I'm pretty proud of.
Well, I know when the pandemic hit, everybody hit the pause button.
Yep.
And I know that would have been a perfect time to start into post-production, but everybody was waiting because it's only going to be a couple months.
Yep.
And well, here we are now. So
yep.
Yes, I can't wait for October 13th. If people were going to go in to see this, what's one thing they should keep in mind about your film?
Just the open mind of the issue, right? That what we do in this particular film is not all of the issue, but I think everyone, if basically the big thing, and I heard it from some of the people that were part of it, is don't be a bystander. And I think the word that they used is be an upstander, can you see bullying? Because it's not just in schools. It could be in the workplace. It could be anywhere. And sometimes when I grew up, they called it law of the jungle and you survived, right? But it really wasn't a focus on bullying. And yet that has changed, that you can affect people emotionally, mentally, physically, just in the things you say and the things you do. So be an open mind, try to see where you can be the upstander and not just the bystander if you see stuff going on in your life, and have conversations. If it's parents with their kids, have conversations. Does stuff go on in the school? What's done at the school? I know there's been some cases even locally here in St. Thomas in recent years where there's been things said and done that they're just not cool. But this is the way kids are. You don't know what upbringing is. You don't know what the cause is, what the underlying issue is. But I think if we talk about it and we're open to discussion, that's really what I want to try with the film. I always say when I do a film, if I can change one person's life or open a discussion, then it's worth making the film.
Well, and I got to admit, that's one thing I love about your films is the fact that it takes a topic that, when you get into a classroom and they say, okay, today we're going to talk about bullying, you see 90% of the people just shut off right away. This brings it to them in a way that entertains, so they're forced to listen.
Well, I can't think of how many cast members, right, from main cast right on down to the extras. And when I say 80, that includes extras. I know in films often the extras get dismissed, but anything I do, if you're part of it, you're part of my cast, regardless of the size of the role. And the number of people said that they relate to one or more of these characters in the film, or they know somebody like that, that's the stuff that really floors me, because I'm writing something that is technically not real, and yet it's real to life. And I have people telling me that they've been affected or changed by what I'm writing.
Well, and see, I tried to think back when I was like in high school and public school, and I was either numb to it, didn't care, or I've traumatically blocked out the bullying, because I personally don't remember it for myself, but I remember seeing it so often. And like you said, I saw it in that trailer. Oh, I remember, there was a girl I knew, Kelly, that was like that, and I could see. So yeah, I adore the fact that you are bringing this out so people can now start to talk about it. Oh,
well, especially with working with the youth, right? I see it through iFilm as well. I hear the stories. I hear the parents talking. So it's always something that's relevant.
Yeah, Donald said, I saw this when it was in production, and I'm really glad to finally see it being released. Yanis said, indeed, it has resonated with me too. And if he's part of production, that speaks volumes, like you said. Yeah. And Don said, Don Wonderly is from Walpole Island. At noon today, I was in conference with Wonderly about bullying. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
See, look at it. It's not even released and it's already started.
Yep.
That is awesome. That speaks volumes right there.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to hide the smile on my face, because that means that already we're having an effect. And that's always been my goal when I make a film. Change one person's life and it makes the film worthwhile. And that has happened time and time again with the films I've made. And I'm sure that's why people call me social justice, right? Because it's making a social justice film on a topic. And it's not always easy to take on some of these topics. I try to do it from not necessarily a neutral tone, but I try to present a lot of different angles and show that maybe nobody is completely right or wrong. We all make choices. We're bound by those choices we make, and those choices are either good or bad. And it's what we do with what happened. I mean, they always used to say, if you fell off the horse, you're supposed to get up and get back on. But what if something happened when you fell off that horse that was traumatizing, maybe not in a physical sense, but maybe a mental or emotional sense? And that's what some of these issues are dealing with is what is happening to people. And we're all humans. We're not unbreakable. And that's really what I like taking on. That's kind of the fun part, because you get into the emotional, psychological, and those aspects, and how to really flesh a character out and get people to identify and attach to them.
That is excellent. Don just said, Wonderly is a life coach. Oh, that's excellent. Well, this is the exact person that you want talking about it then.
Yeah, Don Wonderly's done some stuff loosely with us. He's connected with iFilm. I know one of the films that we've got coming out in the new year, Not Ready. He's been associated with it and that. So there's big things coming, and that's what I love. It's been a slower time the last couple of years, but we have this film now. Probably in the new year will be Not Ready being released. So some of the stuff that we've had, so to speak, sitting on, is coming through post-production. And so there'll be a lot of cool things happening in the next year, I'm hoping.
Excellent. So now with iFilm Group, how do people contact you or get a hold of you?
So the website is ifilmgroup.org, www.ifilmgroup.org, and it's all one word. There's also a Facebook page. I don't have that right off the top, but ifilmgroup.org is probably the best way to get a hold of us. There's a contact. If you're looking to do acting and that, then we're always taking resumes and that. We're working on, hopefully in 2022, we have a whole idea of virtual learning of acting and crew. So there's a bunch of training sessions that we're doing that will get a virtual learning program off the ground. There's all kinds of mentorship. We've done stuff with drama therapy we have an individual that does drama therapy that we have a connection with. We have some different life coaches. We have different people that do acting training and that. So it's all about teaching and mentoring, and anybody that's interested in the film industry or getting someone. We have a lot of teenagers that come to us. They don't want to go to Toronto, or they're spending the big money trying to get an agent, and sometimes you just need that little taste to see this is what you want to do. We don't have a big schedule coming up with filming, obviously, because we're dealing with restrictions, but I do have a film that is actually virtual that I'm doing. So I'm trying to get people similar to what we're doing now in the podcast style or online, where you're doing your stuff from your house. It's called Social Disobedience. So that's actually one that I'm working on. It's taken a little longer than I thought. Big surprise. That seems to be most films.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
That is true. You get into the indie films, it's going to be released next week. No. You tack a couple months and then you'll be close.
There's a technical issue, or you lost an actor or actress or whatever. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. People in post. Yes, I understand. Yeah. Sorry. Don here said the movie will be shared with labor unions regarding workplace violence.
Well, there you go. So
that's a great idea as well. And then Linda shared one of hers. Illness delayed her entering high school, and socially delayed girls seemed threatened my early development, and boys drew attention to it. But nature is not in our control. And that is exactly the key to bullying right there. It's like, what can they pinpoint on you and blow up?
Yeah.
So where do people watch the premiere?
So I will be releasing a link on Wednesday morning through my Vimeo link. So it'll be on the Facebook. I believe we're going to try to get it up on the website. But yeah, they'll be through either my personal Facebook page or the iFilm. And then from there, I expect sharing, because I know I got people, they're like racehorses in the gate waiting for this to come out. And I'm sure there'll be lots of sharing. I can share it with you as well, Rob. So
absolutely,
your viewers can obviously touch into it, and it's just a matter of getting it out there. Once we're gonna have a time where it's up for free, and everybody can see it, and we're then going to head into doing film festivals and that. We've already got one film festival that I'm really proud of. It's the Take a Stand Film Festival. I kind of picked it because of what it was, but we actually have 6 nominations in it for already. So we haven't, we're nominated, official selection, and then for the film, and then we're nominated for the Anti-Bullying Award, the Best Bully Theme, Best Message Award, my leading lady, as they call it the Leading Lady Award. Katie Ostajek, who plays Naomi, has been nominated. Acting supporting role of Morgan Flanagan, who also wrote the song for the film, or the kind of the theme song, which you heard a bit of in the trailer. And then I'm nominated for Best Director.
Excellent. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yes. So October 13th, pay attention, because that link will be coming out. Get a chance to watch Malicious Attack. Matthew, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Been a pleasure.
And everybody else, remember, ifilmgroup.org if you want to check out what's going on there. And I'll make sure we get you back for more chatting.
Okay, great. Been a pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. And